Broadcasting to the world from South Jersey, this is Anything Goes with Phil Rossi and JJ Golick. A weekly podcast with different topics every week. The views and opinions on this show are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of any businesses or organizations mentioned during the show. And now, it's Anything Goes with Phil Rossi and JJ Golick.
Yo, what is going on? My name is Phil Rossi. This is Anything Goes alongside my partner in crime. That is JJ Golick. What's up, JJ?
What's up, Phil? Front row seat back in our normal studio.
Yes, sir. Thank God. It's a normal temperature, so that's always a good thing.
Not chattering teeth.
Correct.
No implosions today.
Yes, or at least implosions that we would try to see but miss.
Right.
So
we had a front row seat.
All right. Here he goes. Loves the damn button. So today we're talking, I know it's one of your favorite shows, Bachelor controversy.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot going on right now.
There is a lot going on, so we have to bring on our Bachelor expert. That is Amy. Hello, Amy. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, Amy, just give me a brief summary, quick rundown of what's going on as far as the Bachelor, who is Matt James. He's the first black Bachelor in Bachelor history. And so kind of what's going on right now as far as the racism controversy.
So he's had a couple contestants on the season, and I guess that he already picked his winner. And it came out on, I think it was a Reddit post that one of the contestants that was on there was pictured in an antebellum style party, I guess, when she was part of a sorority. So that's causing a bunch of issues.
So that's causing controversy. Now, when we say antebellum style party, what do we mean? Because I feel like the media has taken this as usual and run with this crazy idea that antebellum style party means you're wearing a Klan's hoodie and you're burning a cross. But that's not really the pictures that we have. We seen these pictures from the supposed racist Rachel?
I have. She's with a bunch of other girls, sorority style, I guess. I guess they were probably drinking a lot. It looked pretty fancy to me. I didn't see anything wrong with them, but then again, I don't know. So
basically, it's your normal college party.
Yep.
With girls in dresses, and it's just antebellum style. And now we have this outrageous controversy. Now, this controversy started from the previous Bachelorette, which is Rachel Lindsay, correct?
Yes.
And was she the one that brought this to the forefront?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. So she comes out and basically says, "Oh my God, there's pictures of this current contestant at a party. This is so racist."
And how long ago did this really happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this had to be a few years ago. Let's call the woke police and start a race war when the dude's just trying to find a wife out of 20 hot chicks that he's making out with on the daily.
Right. Let the guy find some love. I mean, come on.
So, and here's the thing. Now, the show is still airing. It's not over.
Right.
But Amy, we're saying that supposedly he's half black and half white Bachelor picked the one racist girl who was at the antebellum party. Is that how we went?
Supposedly, if that's 100% correct, which I was reading that it might not be correct.
Okay, so according to the rumors, he starts with, how many girls does he start with to choose from?
I think it's like 30-some.
So he starts with 30-some girls, and the one girl who was at the antebellum party, who's supposedly, allegedly, the most racist chick, he ends up with her. Like, what are the odds?
I don't know.
Right?
Crazy stuff.
Like, isn't it crazy?
Yeah, but obviously, if she got that far, you like this person enough to get that far.
Right.
So
you like
can't
this
be
person.
that bad.
So was he not picking up on like the like racist vibes,
or was she not giving any off?
Right, or maybe she just went to a party and she was just like any other chick or guy who goes to a party while they're in college. It was a college party, right, Amy?
Yeah, it was college party back in 2018.
Okay, so we're talking
3 years ago.
Yeah, three years ago, and this is now just coming up now.
I mean, it's just like, I'm so sick of it. Like, it's just disgusting with
They're now coming into a reality TV show because the reason I bet that it's coming up is because it is so popular, The Bachelor.
Right.
So they're digging. How can we keep bringing up racism and, all of this other junk?
And nobody's like defending, like, again, we're over here in the North, so like, I've never been like, oh, hey, Phil, me and JJ, we're DJing this amazing white-only antebellum party. Come out and burn crosses. Like, this shit doesn't happen.
We're going to be wearing white sheets and pointed hats.
I think the biggest problem is it was probably just a party, and it was like, oh, it's just a fancy. I guarantee you 80-90% of the people who went there had no idea what antebellum party means, because even if you say it now, people say, what do you mean, antebellum? So you really have to look up.
Well, it's like the country group, Lady Antebellum, that are now calling themselves Lady A. This came about last year.
Right.
Same situation where somebody dug something up and started a whole something that's not necessary.
Well, and even that name, it was fine. Nobody really had an issue with it until the woke police got a hold of it. And then Lady Antebellum was like, oh, my God, nobody's going to like us because... And again, I don't think the majority of people even understand what the word or definition of antebellum means.
I had to look it up because I was so confused. Why are you changing your name? What the hell? What happened?
Right. And I don't know. I guess even Amy can maybe answer this a little bit better. Do you think this is part of... because listen, The Bachelor is a reality TV show, so... I mean, I believe maybe a quarter of it is actually real. The rest of it has got to be scripted, and they keep people along, and girls and guys that make for better ratings, which is what TV is all about. Do you think this is part of the controversy, or is just this something else that they can grab a hold of to make it even worse?
I feel as though it probably wasn't their goal to make it such a big topic. It was just something that happened, especially with Rachel Lindsay, since she takes on a lot of topics for her podcast that are, involve racism and stuff like that. But I don't really think that it was scripted in, because I feel like if she wouldn't have mentioned it or it wouldn't have been brought up to her attention, it probably wouldn't have, been such a big part of this season's Bachelor.
Right, and Rachel Lindsay, she has a podcast, and she's always talking about, racism and stuff like that. And if it's true racism, we don't have a problem with that. I just think we start getting into a very difficult situation where we try to make and divide people based on race constantly now. It seems like no matter what anybody does, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, gay, straight, everybody's trying to divide everybody else by, oh, that's racist, and you shouldn't say that, and you shouldn't do that. And now you have, really it's race baiting, really at its core. That's really all it is. You're just turning every situation into race. And then the other thing that happened was Chris Harrison, the host of the show, first of all, to me, he kind of played it super safe. I mean, this guy did not...
He's still getting crap for it.
Right. And this is the thing. This is why I suggest, we're nobody cares what we say. But if you're any kind of fame or any kind of celebrity, if you ever apologize to the woke police, that's the worst thing you could do. You're literally just setting yourself up for a disaster.
Take me away.
Because even if you fully apologize and don't even say anything, like in Chris Harrison, and Amy will tell us in a second what he said, they still want to burn you literally at the cross for saying, wait, we don't have all the information yet. We're just trying to see what's going on. Let's not nail somebody to the cross before we get all the info. And it's the biggest story ever. So... Again, this guy's the host. He tried to play it safe when really he should have came out and said, listen, we need to stop this bullshit. We need to stop this race baiting and let's just move on. Instead, he's on... Amy, did he leave? Did he take a leave of absence? Like, what's his deal?
It said that he stepped aside from The Bachelor. I think they interviewed Rachel Lindsay recently just to figure out, if she has plans on taking over his role. She said she had no plans on that, but she thought that it was the best decision for him to just step aside. I'm not sure if he's fully just quit.
And here's what bothers me, right, is that how now does Rachel Lindsay get to decide who should step aside if she's going to step into the role? I mean, she doesn't. Does she work for the show? I don't get how she has so much power where it's just like whatever you want to do, we'll do, and then everybody else, like Chris Harrison will lose his job. The girl Rachel, whether she is racist, not racist, went to a party, it's bigger, it seems like it's more blown out of proportion than anything. She'll get labeled as a racist now. Yeah, now because Rachel Lindsay says, oh yeah, this is what I believe, so now let's just take her word. And if we call her out on it, then you're racist. No, you're not racist. We just want it to be fair for everybody. We want equal rights. We want to be judged by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin.
Well, I'm thinking about it too. Like, I've seen this kind of thing happen before. With sporting events, and an in-arena host says something, and then the other in-arena host makes it a bigger deal than it has to be, just so that they can get the new position. And then the other one is, bad named and everything, discredited for everything they've ever done. Well, that's kind of what's happening to Chris Harrison, but it's completely different because who knows? Does she work for the show? And if she works for the show, why are you on the show?
Yeah, I mean, she was the Bachelorette. Now, and Amy, is she married? Rachel Lindsay?
She is, yeah.
She's married to, is the guy Hispanic?
I think so. I think he might be Colombian. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay, so again, you just have, now she found the person that she loves, and the guy's Hispanic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my thing is, it seems like a lot of her content, she believes in the woke police and all these people that have these outrageous ideas believe they're doing good by, we're eliminating racism. No, the only thing you're doing is bringing racism to the forefront. We actually have a clip from, I think it's Morgan Freeman, right?
Yes, it's from a few years ago. Morgan Freeman was doing an interview on 60 Minutes, and I really think that he really says it. He says exactly what needs to happen.
Right. If you want to play that, we can play that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You want to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That white guy, Phil Rossi.
Yeah, it's such a simple, it seems like a simple, logical thing to think. And I don't know why more white people, black people in general, just don't think like that. Like, that's the way I feel. I know that's the way you feel. I know that's the way Amy feels. So
Just stop talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, the more and this is why I blame even this whole Bachelor thing. Like, first of all, Chris Harrison's biggest disappointment in life should be hosting The Bachelor. Just kidding, because I would definitely do that job. But
we all know you would.
But at the same time, it just seems like it's ridiculous. Like, listen, just move on. Like Morgan Freeman said, just stop talking about it. That's how you get rid of it. Stop making everything about race, and then it'll be good. And then Matt James can pick from 30 beautiful women,
Amen.
that, are trying to get his attention. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right, Amy. Well, we'll let you go because I know you're busy just doing more investigative reporting for Anything Goes, the podcast. So I know you're working on some other stories over there.
Yep, you got it.
All right, Amy. Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's really the biggest issue.
We just need to stop talking about it.
Yeah. And I know we posted on our Facebook page about
And Instagram stereotypes.
Yeah, so what was the exact question we had here?
All right. So I'm gonna pull up Facebook first here. That way the exact question was, all right, what is the funniest or weirdest stereotype you have ever heard? So there's a lot of stereotypes. Obviously, you and I deal with a lot of them.
Right, I deal
with our industry. We deal with a lot of them.
Right. I mean, and stereotypes, yeah, true, can be like job related, could be ethnicity related, could be
Yes.
religion related.
And they're not always necessarily true.
Right. It's just a stereotype that people assume, or maybe in some cases it is true.
And there's a lot of times where I'm not saying they're politically correct or anything like that, but some people prove it true.
Yeah, they do, and I don't know. I kind of look at it like this: like, listen, if it hurts somebody's feelings or whatever, and this, don't say it. But in my experience, I feel like a lot of the stuff that has been said to me or that I've really said in more of a joking way.
Yeah.
Just to be funny or to poke fun at somebody, and then they'll poke fun back. I've never really, again, in my own personal experience, I've never had anything said to somebody that was, vicious or to be mean. It was more just more said in a way of, oh, you're Italian, you must like spaghetti. And I'm like, yeah, man, you're right.
Actually,
I love spaghetti. You're right. We do have Sunday dinner. Like,
we do. Yes, at Grandma's house.
yeah, I mean, it's not, I don't take offense or like, oh, how dare you think I eat spaghetti? It's like,
I'm actually a vegetarian.
yeah, like, no.
No spaghetti and meatballs for me.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's all these, stereotypes and stuff that sometimes are true. And
Yeah.
I actually look at them like, that's cool, because I look at it like you understand my culture, right? You understand
Right.
my food. You understand the way, Italian people talk with their hands. Like, I don't get offended. Like, oh, Phil, you talk with your hands. Must be Italian. I'm like, yeah, I think it's cool. Like, I want you to know that because I'm Italian, I talk with my hands.
Sure. I mean,
like,
it's one of those things. Like,
I don't get offended. I actually enjoy it.
Well, it's funny because, we're talking about racism, so I'm going to, start off with one of that somebody brought to my attention doing a wedding.
Okay.
It was a mixed wedding, so we had black and white, and I forget who it was, but one of them in the bridal party said, "Don't expect this to start on time. The one side's going to be late."
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, what do I say to that?
Right. You just say, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hear you.
That's a good way to just agree. Just be like, I don't really know, but
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
I get what you're saying.
Exactly. And,
so that way they don't know, like maybe he does know, maybe he doesn't, but he's kind of just fluffing it off.
Don't you know he's right?
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes people prove it to be true. If you have, a mixed wedding and, I had the one guy walked in the ceremony, they were just about to say, "I do." Mm-hmm. And I just could not believe, I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know.
Oh my God, you just really proved that stereotype. Come on, dude.
And the crazy thing is, I've had weddings too where I've had, in this past year, I had a black bride and a white groom.
Right.
And we had met at a bridal show, and they were really, really nice people, beautiful people. And we're talking, and she's like, "Phil, I want to take dance lessons." She's like, me and my family, we can really dance. She's like, but his side's like very white, and they're not really great dancers. Now, I wasn't like, "Oh my God, I can't do your wedding, you're a racist." Now, listen, there are white people that can dance, there are black people that can dance, vice versa. It works all kind of different ways. There's no, correlation between, it's better this way or not. He was just kind of like a nerdier, geekier white guy, and she was black, and she said, "I'm going to teach him." She's like, he does like my moves though. So they were. I mean, listen, they were cute, and he was always like, yeah. He's like, "Phil, I'm hoping some of her dance moves kind of wear off on me." But again, it was said in like a joking, fun way, a loving way.
Right.
Again, I think people today, especially, everything like triggers everybody for no reason.
Right.
And
his comment, about them being late. Hate to say it, but more than once has that stereotype been proven, and it's not a horrible thing.
Yeah,
but it's not something to be getting upset about.
Yeah, and I never bought into the
every
notion.
Irish is going to get drunk on St. Patrick's Day,
right? Or yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's all these stereotypes out there. Some are true.
You're German, you support Hitler,
right? There's all these crazy, all these things that are not true,
right? That
people just go by. And I think the majority of people realize that it's said in a fun way. It's said in a joking way. It's fun. Some people like it. I mean, again, not even that long ago, even like 5-10 years ago, you could say stuff. People would be like, "Oh, he's just joking around." Now, if it becomes where you're like berating somebody or making them feel terrible or bullying them, that's a whole different thing. We don't condone that. That's not the way it is. No. But we talked about it before. We're cool with people that are cool. If we don't like you or you're not a good person, then we don't like you. I don't defend you like...
Right. If you're a shitty person, you're a shitty person.
Right. And again, most people agree with this shit. So again, The Bachelor, all this wokeness, taking Aunt Jemima off syrup is ridiculous.
Why?
How come Italian people are not calling for the removal of Chef Boyardee? You know why? Because we don't care.
Right.
Because it's ridiculous. Because we're like, oh, cool, Chef Boyardee's Italian and he's on the can. I buy it. The same way, I know a lot of black people who, when they were younger, would buy Aunt Jemima syrup just because they had a black lady on the label. So again, you taking that off actually works in the opposite way.
Right.
So it makes no sense.
The Land O'Lakes, do you see the thing with the Land O'Lakes butter or whatever going around?
Same deal.
They're taking the Indian off or whatever.
The Washington Redskins off the helmet.
The Washington football team. Excuse you.
Exactly.
How dare you?
Yeah, we got woke JJ up in here today.
You cannot say that.
And again, they've asked Native Americans, American Indians, does this offend you? And they say no, it's actually more of an honor that you're wearing it on the helmet than it offends us. And it's still... So my question is, who is this shit offending? So unless you're like...
It's like the question, who is keeping Arby's open?
No, listen, Arby's is fantastic. Side note, Arby's is great. I know you worked there for a little bit, right?
I did, and I will tell you the food is actually pretty good.
Yeah, Arby's is super underrated. They're underrated. There's not many of them, at least in this area, so when I pass one, I'm like, you better believe...
Phil, we're going. We're going to go.
I'm going to go to Arby's.
Because there's one by my house.
Yes.
We're going to get our next broadcast remote.
We'll be live from Arby's?
Yes. The mint shake, though.
Outside the hat?
Yes. Yeah, actually, I still have a couple of my shirts if you want.
What, like an old Arby shirt?
Yeah, I have my shift manager shirt. I think I might have a T-shirt somewhere still.
Okay.
So
I love this
interested.
podcast because we can go from hard-hitting like race issues in the country
We had to light it up with a roast beef.
to like Arby's.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean, and this is how everybody should try to get their life to, right? We can
Right.
we can have like hard issues that again are just like about race and everybody's cool, but again, like how could we not all gather around and sing Kumbaya to like Arby's roast beef sandwiches, right? Like again, black, white, gay, straight, poor, rich. We're talking about Arby's. I mean, exactly. I mean, this is
That's
fantastic.
what I do every time I hear about Arby's,
Right.
Mozzarella sticks.
I mean, this is what it's about. It's about, instead of race baiting people and being negative and hating people, it's about finding things we have in common.
Well, I think COVID really has, when all the looting and everything started, I think COVID really, hate to blame a virus, but it did have a lot to do with it. People started going stir crazy. And if you look at it I'm not defending the looting at all because I'm completely against it, but I went back and looked at it from this perspective of maybe people were so tired of being locked up and wanted to gather in mass crowds. And this was the only acceptable,
Right.
in big air quotes, way to do it.
Yeah, true. I
And
mean,
I'm not condoning it.
yeah,
but-
whether it was the rioting or all the stuff that we saw all summer, all the stuff that, we saw at the Capitol on January 6th. When we talked about this before on the show,
Right.
is that it, to me, directly correlates from people being locked down, because these lockdowns, this is unprecedented. This has never happened in the history of this country.
And it's
Never.
only continuing. That's the thing.
Right, because when you give up power, again, as we talked about, these tyrants, these governors, these elected officials don't want to give it up. So, I agree.
Murphy just legalized marijuana yesterday.
Correct.
He signed this. Now, everyone's going, yippee, yay.
That's Governor
great.
Phil Murphy of New Jersey.
Well, here's the problem. Hey, jackass, you're supposed to do that 2-3 years ago.
Right.
That's how you got elected in. And now you're just doing it because you don't want to get shot.
Right. Well, he's doing it because it's coming up on this next time to get elected, so this will still be fresh in the minds. Like everything
That's exactly why he's doing it, because he knows how bad he screwed up with this.
It's calculated. I mean, it's definitely calculated, behavior. Like the same way we talked about how the vaccine started getting distributed right after the election.
Oh, and you know
Right,
what? I'm watching this vaccine with people just personally that I know that have gotten it. And my father just got his second dose.
How's he feel?
He's doing better now.
Okay.
Arm is still really sore, but he was out. And my father he's tough. He does not call out of work. He's very rarely will you see him in bed. The latest I think I've seen him in bed is about 8 a.m. Even on a weekend.
Right.
His body clock, it gets up. He's one of those where he's got his routine. He takes his shower. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you see him in bed at 9, 10 o'clock on Monday morning, you know something's up.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, we'll talk about this, I guess, for like 2 minutes. A lot of people with the vaccine are getting it. Most people, I think, especially to get that second shot, have a day or two where they don't feel great.
Right.
But then they seem to be getting better. And, again, it's one of these things
It's
where
the antibodies that you really have to watch right now that they're promoting is getting these antibodies. The vaccine antibodies are completely different. If you're going to do the vaccine, do the vaccine. Don't go for the antibodies because that is a whole other avenue. And I've been talking to a lot of nurses and doctors that we work with, and they're all saying the same thing. It's not a wise idea.
Yeah. And I would go back to our earlier point that, listen, it's tough for people when they can't work, when they can't go out, when they can't go on vacation, when you can't go to church.
My parents have missed 2 vacations now. They usually go away, I don't know how you're surviving or were surviving. No, you just went anyway.
Yeah, I go regardless.
Unfortunately,
I find any place that has just a slit of freedom, and I'm just like, whoosh, I'm in.
I'm getting in there.
I'm getting in there. Yep. Yeah, that's the way I work. And I think I'm hoping, like we've been hoping now for like a year, but
It's really coming up on a year, and next month
Yeah, and I think once we're back to, and I do think all the controversies and the wokeness and the racism really contribute to nobody being able to get out and always being locked down. Because you have to think about it. If you're inside and all you do is on the phone, all you do is watch TV, all you do is go on the computer, you're just consuming yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with what's going on, and they're removing. Because again, if you're out working and taking your kids to baseball practice and going to church and going on vacations and going out with friends and going to the bar and going to dance, you're not locked in as much to every little thing that's going on. So it really does, like you said, like we don't condone the looting at all, but it just, I think it was like just this like mass exodus to get outside, because like you said, it was the only time it was like, oh, well, you can't do anything, but you can loot and walk in a parade of like thousands of people. So I think it was just you don't want to condone it, but we do see how it's like, well, we can at least get out. And
I think the lockdown is far past what it needs to be.
Oh, it's
working now in the medical field and seeing what I see.
Right.
There's no need for a lockdown anymore. The people that are dying are not, again, we've said it before, are not all COVID.
Right.
A lot of people are dying. COVID may have helped. COVID may have been the initial reason you came in, but COVID is not why you're dying.
Right.
I mean, a lot of cases that I'm seeing, people come in and a lot of people don't even know what's going on with their bodies. And that's
why you're at the hospital in the first place.
Right. But it's not COVID.
Yeah.
And the death rate is still not even close to where it needs to be concerned. I'm sorry. The amount of people that die per day, I've said it before, I'll say it again, is much higher than what COVID.
Yeah, and if the thing that that bothers me is that they've definitely used COVID as a way to continue to be tyrannical maniacs, lock the government down, keep everybody in lockdown. I mean, at this point, it has to stop. I mean, and now the good thing is you're really starting to see people on both ends of the spectrum, whether conservative, Democrat, Republican, moderate, libertarian, they're all coming together now because they realize this is no longer. I mean, it never really truly was, I don't believe, about the COVID. But now you're really starting to see that, listen, schools have to open, churches have to open, people need to get back to living their life.
People are going mentally insane.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this is why.
And I hate to say it, it's more. I'm seeing more kids going mentally insane, and it's sad. And it needs to stop. These people need to come to these hospitals and psych wards and places, and they need to talk to these kids that haven't been able to see their friends or do anything normal. The kids can't even go outside for a sporting event because...
And the transmission rate and the effect that COVID has on young kids or young people is so minute that continue, again, if you're older, if you have pre-existing conditions, if you have comorbidities, any of those things, you stay home, you take care of yourself.
Yeah, you were probably doing that already.
Right, and that's what you should have, that's what, like you say, you probably were doing it, what you would continue to do regardless. But to stop people from going to ball games, and the only scary thing I do see is that you still have Fauci and all these people saying, again, most people believe, okay, we did what we had to do, now we're getting the vaccine so we can get back to normal life. If you... And the Biden administration and Jen Psaki and the press secretary and all these people keep saying, okay, well, yeah, you got the vaccine, that's good, but you're still going to have to mask and socially distance into 2022. And it's like, no. We were taking the vaccine, so we no longer have to do this. So you told us do this so you can get the vaccine. Then once you get that, you're good. Now we can get back to normal life. Stop telling people that even after they get it, it's still not good enough. You're still going to have to do this.
You've lied to them now.
Now, because you've been lying.
Yeah.
And we've seen this for a while. But now even the people that thought they were doing it right and now getting the vaccine, which is the right thing to do for a lot of people who feel that type of way. If you don't want to get it, you don't get it. That's fine if you're young and you're healthy.
Not happening.
And but to say now you have it and you still can't go to a ball game, you still can't go to church is ridiculous. Stop the bullshit. Let people get back to their lives and just end it. It's enough.
It's been enough, and there's a lot of places that are... They're this close. I know a few places that are this close to saying, screw it. We're going to do what we got to do. Because they're not helping anybody.
No.
I know a lot of people are starting to get cut off from unemployment.
Yeah.
Actually,
We know that feeling.
Yeah.
We're getting to the end of the rope. We're like, oh man,
Oh no.
where's Joe Biden at?
Yo,
Joey.
fucking asshole.
Yo, Joey.
Not my fucking president.
Oh God, here's AJ going on a rant.
Yeah, well, because they're not helping anybody. He wants to claim that Trump didn't help anybody. Well, what the fuck are you doing? Nothing.
Oh God. Oh, I'm scared.
You want to go back to stereotypes?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good transition. Let's get back to
Fucking Biden sucks.
Oh
All
my
right.
God. All right. Let's get back
So,
to our Facebook and
all
see
right.
what they think.
So one of our good friends been on the show before, Zach Taglioli.
Zachy.
He gave me a really good one that I didn't think about. He says, now again, the question on our Facebook and Instagram page, what is the funniest or weirdest stereotype you have ever heard? And Zach writes in on our Instagram, straight men don't do musical theater.
That's a good one.
It is a good one because it is furthest from the truth.
So you're a good example of that.
Yes, and so is Zach.
So you both did musical theater.
It's where we met.
Now, Zach, I see you. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you where to go.
All right. So did you guys do it together? Or was it like in high school?
So in middle school, we started doing, it wasn't musical, but it was still theater. I kind of drop it under, we did melodramas back then.
Okay.
That was when I started taking the back seat. And I was doing more production.
Okay.
So I used to be in the musicals and stuff and on stage elementary school.
Yeah, I always thought like the same way, like even in high school, like even like later, I always thought it was cool to do like the singing. And here's another thing, I think again it's changed over time. Like if you look back at the old movies, like Gene Kelly and Singing in the Rain and Dick Van Dyke and all these, like it was a very like manly theater kind of singing thing to do, and then. It changed a little bit over time, and then like
You got the ladies.
Yeah, right, exactly. Especially if you can sing and dance. And
Look at Elvis.
well, Elvis, another one.
Elvis, oh my God. You, come here.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, and yeah, I think the stereotype has changed where it's like maybe only gay people do theater, only gay men do that.
No,
but it's not true.
Here's the thing, and Zach and I can attest to it. Some people are such good actors playing maybe a gay role. That you can do such a great impression and act so well that they do think, and
so it's really a good thing.
It's exactly
because your talents is really good.
Yeah, Zach and I will, of course, and it happens a lot of times when you have guy best friends. They'll be like, "Oh, you two homos" or whatever. But oh, darling, stop it. Him and there's a group of us that Dean Schneider, Zach Taglioli, and I, we'll get together and just shoot the shit. And the one day, I don't remember what his wife said, but we're in the kitchen and, "Oh, honey, stop it! What are you? Oh, my nails are so great, thank you." and we're just joking around, having a good time. But yeah, people, if they just imagine taking that clip and putting that online, well, now I'm a faggot.
Yeah.
Well, no, what you don't know is what I'm doing behind the scenes. We won't talk about.
Yeah. I'm sure we won't.
We won't.
That's for a different show.
That's the after dark.
That's
version.
when you had a couple different experiences you never thought you would have.
Chaz Daly.
Yeah, where's he at? That's your bisexual lover, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
But
no, I don't have one of those. And if you do, that's fine, Phil. You do you.
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. Wait, so
you, boo.
That was from Zach. Do we have any other ones?
We did have somebody else said, I can't even read this user tag, but said snuffleupagus. I have no idea what the hell that means. Snuffleupagus, yeah. I don't know what that means. So
Delete that person now.
Unless you're bringing me a snuffleupagus.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, really. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
There's one that I hear all the time is your family must be in the mob.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
big one. They must be.
Right? Like, they think every single person who is from Italian descent, their family's in the mafia because they watch The Godfather or they watch The Sopranos. Now, that's not true.
Right. Wow. I mean...
But that's another... like
sometimes it can be.
The same way, like you said earlier, like every Irish person, all they did was drink beer and eat potatoes.
Actually, what's funny is how Irish I am, and for the longest time, I did not like potatoes.
Right. Well, I'm Italian. I don't like tomatoes.
but you like, everything else with tomatoes. I don't want to say the wrong words.
I thought you were going somewhere else. I thought it was like a vagina joke or something. I was like,
No.
how's he going to correlate tomatoes to vagina? I don't know, but
No. No, I don't even know how you would do that, but now I'm going to think about it.
wait.
Yes,
So you
yes,
were
babe, you taste like a tomato today.
so you were really thinking. What are you thinking? Bruschetta?
V8.
What do you?
No,
think?
I was thinking like pizza, and I mean, I know you
like
pizza.
gravy?
Yeah, whatever y'all call it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like if you're
It's a whole other
like
discussion.
I'm Italian from Philadelphia, South Philly. So in South Philly we call it gravy.
Jesus
but
Christ.
in Italy
It's fucking sauce.
it is called sauce. But you don't ever disrespect my heritage, you racist bastard.
Fuck you. Yeah, listen.
But-
it's there's nothing wrong with when people call it gravy. When I hear gravy, I'm thinking,
Yeah,
like
I know.
brown
You're thinking
gravy.
brown gravy on the mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
I've
you
heard
know.
it 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. When I hear sauce, I know right away what I'm getting.
Right. Well, that's because you're not Italian, so you don't understand the lingo.
Oh,
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Right. I don't get it. Right.
Yeah.
But I can talk with my hands.
Yeah, as long as you can talk with your hands.
I can throw them.
You got to do the Italian thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But listen, I always think it's cool. I think it's part of the culture. I think it's part of the heritage that makes. That's the thing. If we erase everything that makes each culture unique, then everybody's the same, and that's not fun. Right? What makes it fun is Italian people have food. What makes it fun is Spanish people have certain food. What makes it fun is Irish people have certain food. If you eliminate everybody's culture and the way everybody speaks and the way people say certain things by different region or nationality, then it sucks because everybody's the same damn person.
Well,
How's that fun?
If you're Italian, you got to be good at singing and got to be good in bed.
Well, that comes standard. That comes standard with as Zach Taglioli.
The Italian stallion.
That comes standard with everything.
Well,
I mean, Italians are smooth, they're cool, they're collected.
go ahead, sing us a song.
Now I'm going to leave that to Zach because he is he's our show tenor, so I'm going to leave that to him.
He's actually we're just going to start calling him at the end of the show.
I mean,
for him to take us out. But with that, there's others where the size of your schlong is supposed to be bigger if you're a certain
right. If you're a certain like we've heard for years since we could say we went on the show, we've heard for years that black guys are big.
And can I tell you? I know for a fact.
I knew he was going to come out on this episode. I knew he was going to come out.
No, I won't say. There's a couple of people that I know that have had instances with a gentleman of that. What do we say? Descent.
Okay.
And
he's trying to be politically correct. He doesn't want the woke police to come after him. Rachel Lindsay from The Bachelor is gonna get you. But go
I
ahead.
don't give a shit. Her podcast probably fucking blows.
Oh my God, Rachel, we love you.
Nah, we don't. She can go fuck herself.
Oh my God.
All right.
Can't upload this podcast anymore.
She's probably doing it anyway, but Phil, I see you looking at me like, okay, so
I'm scared to talk. I don't know what else to say.
fuck Biden.
This guy.
Front row seat, front row seat.
All right,
Now,
let's get back to topic.
So back to topic. So of course, you're talking the white girl and the black guy.
Okay.
So the black guy's supposed to be giving the best D ever, right?
I guess. Is that what you've had? Is that why?
Never had it. That's the rumor, though, right?
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
Well, let's go with that.
Is that what we're talking about?
Okay.
That they're supposed to have a nice big, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Far from it. Like maybe a couple inches.
Well, here's the thing, and this is why also stereotypes can be bad. Because if you believe that, which obviously a normal,
Yes.
logical person would understand that not everybody's the same.
Well, how about a dumb blonde?
Right, it's the same thing, right?
Well, but she was a dumb blonde.
Who?
We won't talk about. We're not going to disclose names because there's a couple dumb blondes that I know, and it's like a dumb blonde thing that they think that.
But you could be a dumb man with black hair,
Yeah.
right? So,
But I have brown hair, so
well, you're a
your
dumb
theory,
man.
your theory
So
is.
you're really just a dumb man with brown hair. So,
But I'm not the one.
but that's not a stereotype, right? A stereotype is like dumb blonde,
Yeah, dumb blonde.
right? But you don't hear somebody. Oh, it's a dumb brunette. You might say like, oh, that's
No. Every dumb blonde has a brunette best friend.
right.
That's how that goes.
So it's really like one stereotype now transitions to another stereotype.
right. And so we're just living in a world of stereotypes.
Correct.
So going back to the black guy with the short dong,
Right. Your
there's many.
your ex. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I'll never forget hearing that.
He leaves you speechless, huh? So
Sure.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Right. Right.
So, all right. So you remember thinking that, and then you got word that it's not true, or at least for this particular individual, it wasn't true.
Multiple, because remember, I've heard this several times.
Okay.
And that's why I'm laughing, because the correlation between dumb blonde thinking that black man's got a big schlong, and both times it's not the truth.
Yeah. So for in her case, she was 0 for 2. Now it could also work the other way, because they always, another stereotype is Asian men have small dongs. Now there has to be.
It's like he comes out with King Kong.
So now there has to be Asian men that are well endowed. Right? That, like, not everyone. So that's what I'm saying. That's why stereotypes a lot of times or can be funny, can be a joke, can be somewhat true, can be half true, can be a lie.
The sister's got to have a fat ass.
So that's enough. I can't. End this show. End it. Give these people the social so we can get out of here.
No, wait.
And then cut off the last 15 minutes, because this shit's ridiculous.
Oh, no.
End it. I'm tired of this mess.
No.
This has gone so off topic and so out of control.
Did you forget what it's called?
I remember, because anything goes.
But anything is going right now.
End it. I want to hear the damn music. I can't take it.
You can't hear the music.
It's too much.
It's not time
There's
yet.
nothing else to say. It's just getting worse and worse.
This is what we were just talking about.
Yeah. No, you said... I don't even want to repeat it.
Just
You said the sister's got to have a black ass. Oh, no, you didn't say black.
So you twisted that in your own head.
Yeah, you right. All right, end it. I swear to God, you better play this music. I'm about to just leave.
Yo, wait. we can't end it on that.
Why? Where else was it going to go? You want to go back to the COVID vaccine?
Where's my fucking stimulus?
Come on, President Joe Biden. What are you doing?
Sleepy Joe, it's time to wake up.
We're hungry over here.
I haven't eaten in weeks, can't you see?
All right.
It's a lie. I had a croissant with you last week.
Is that the last time you ate?
What do you think?
Yeah, you're right.
Fat lives matter.
All right, let's end this. Give these people the social so they know where to get this ridiculous show.
Okay, well, we got a website, anythinggoespj.com, at anythinggoespj, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
All right, thanks so much for hanging out on this this episode that takes the cake on just like outrageous directions of where things go. But we'll talk to you next time. I'm Phil Rossi. That's JJ Golick. Peace.
Love ya.
This is Anything Goes with Phil Rossi and JJ Golick.